Let's begin by querying up courts. DeSantis' attorneys asked federal judge to dismiss Disney's free speech lawsuit. This week, attorneys for Governor Ron DeSantis asked U.S. District Court Judge Allen Winsor to dismiss a free speech lawsuit filed by Disney. Disney alleges that the Florida governor took over Walt Disney World's governing district in retaliation for the company opposing a state law that banned classroom lessons on sexual orientation and gender identity in early grades. DeSantis' legal team argued that the federal lawsuit should be dismissed since Disney lacked standing to file it. The hearing was the first time oral arguments were made in federal court over Disney's claim that DeSantis used state powers to punish the entertainment giant, a violation of the First Amendment. The governor's attorneys argued that the case should be dismissed, claiming DeSantis is immune because he doesn't enforce any of the laws that removed supervision of the government from Disney supporters. Any decision Judge Windsor makes could determine who controls the governing district that performs municipal services in the roughly 40 square miles in Central Florida that make up Disney World. Windsor was appointed to the bench by President Donald Trump in 2019. Disney and DeSantis' appointees also are battling in a state court lawsuit in Orlando over control of the district. You know, as many of us know, Disney is the #1 employer of LGBTQ plus folks here in Florida, right, as a whole. And we're very well aware that, yes, DeSantis was being a huge bully when he wanted to do this, you know, because he felt that he was losing control. And at Disney, the huge ass, organization that it is, has the money to fight someone like DeSantis, you know? So, yes, of course this can't be overturned. DeSantis, you were a bully. You are a bully. You will always be a bully.
It's not only the largest employer of LGBT people, it's the largest employer in the state. Period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for a governor that says he's pro-business, this is the antithesis of being pro-business. Mm-hmm. And the residents of that area, if DeSantis comes out victorious, are not going to be happy because Disney maintains everything to a much, much higher standard.
Completely. And I remember doing a story a couple months back, I think John will support me on this one, right, where they were thinking of looking at options of moving Disney to another state. Remember that, John? Yeah. And if that would have been thought through and done, I mean, it would bankrupt Central Florida, completely.
Exactly.
Well, we'd have to pay a state income tax.
Oh,
yeah,
that's where we would go. We would go to state income tax.
But the thing is, though, it did sort of happen because remember they were supposed to bring this $2 billion of investment and 25,000 employees or something like that.
That's what it was. Yes,
and it got canceled.
Right?
Yeah. And so now I'll tell you, this is really a procedural move. You know, if DeSantis was suing Disney would be making the motion to dismiss. So this isn't really moving it forward. This is just something that happens along the way. Okay. So let's not get too out over our skis. But that said, this is a weaselly argument made by DeSantis' lawyers, and because he doesn't enforce the laws, but he's got enough. We've got enough of him on tape of him railing against Disney, saying that they were going to do this, saying that businesses aren't above a governor's edict or whatever he said. So the fact is, he's got a record that's going to show he might not be going into Disney and doing whatever, but he's responsible for it. He is the puppet master pulling the strings, and there is no doubt about that.
He's taking a play right out of Trump's playbook, too, right? I mean, he is like Trump light, or maybe not light, but
he's like Trump adjacent.
Yeah, Trump adjacent.
He's competent Trump, which is even
scarier.
He's smarter Trump, which is scarier.
Yeah, but he's saying, I'm above the law. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to do it.
But his policies are way extreme, and I'm hoping that the judge is a fair and reasonable kind of person.
He was appointed by Trump,
but we have seen Trump appointees who break from his positions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
all of a sudden they're human, right? All of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, I can't uphold this. Trini, what do you think about this, Bebe?
Well, it's obvious that he is the puppet master. And where was this rhetoric before the Don't Say Gay bill? Did he go after any of these Disney before that? Obviously, it was not on his radar. It was clearly retaliation. The only thing that is an issue is the same thing with Donald Trump in January 6th. It's like, when does what your free speech is and what you're saying can be held against you. And so I'm not sure if that particular case, how that's going to play out. It's the other one that they mentioned with That was in the opening package. I can't remember what it was, but we'll see how the other court cases go. This one and the standing, I'm not sure how the judge is going to rule on that. If they say that, I'm not the guy, I'm just the Charles Manson, all the other people. I can't make them listen to me.
Forever too, okay? Like you deserve.